me a moment. In your industry, I mean, what has been your experience? If you look at the budget speech at all, is there anything from the past that you remember?
No, absolutely, absolutely. I think we will have some discussion in terms of once a year, but I feel that the budget clearly provides direction in terms of investments, what's the government to do, and if you really look at high level, and I will be speaking on IT and ITAS together, that this industry today is about 6% of GDP, which is a significant part, I would say. It should seek direction in terms of which way we are going. And if you take the export orientation of the industry, we are contributing to about 51% of the global offshore, if I were to look at where we are. So I think what we really track in terms of any direction that is there in terms of foreign exchange, direction that is there in terms of tax stocks, those are very important. And government has created two vehicles, one is SPPI, second is SEZ. What becomes more interesting for mid-sized company like us is to really spread our portfolio between two, which means have investment in SPPI units as well as SEZ units. And really watch in terms of how long the SPPI tax stock is extended. I'm personally looking forward to it. There will be at least extension for a year or three. So that will give the businesses to really plan in terms of what they want to do forward. And I think the third important part which I feel is very directional, particularly for 2010, is because this is the second decade in terms of a new millennium. And the word IT itself is kind of getting redefined. And everybody knows IT is information technology. But I would say the way the budget will look at it is infrastructure and technology. And this, I think, that's what we heard. So these are the two areas which I would be really looking forward to in terms of how the budget will impact.
Just since you mentioned the idea that we are getting into the second decade, is there any particular budget or budget speech or a measure that you remember from the last 10 years which you think still stands today, or which was really far-reaching in scope, thought, vision?
No, I would say that overall, if you really look at the openness in terms of attracting foreign direct investment over the last decade has been significant. Second, the way the SPPI scheme really helped larger and mid-sized companies, and again creating the SEZ as a vehicle. Now the same STPI vehicle is going to be used for mid-sized companies to really go to the B or a C or even the lesser known cities, because if the main cities really created the industry of what or put say Bangalore, Hyderabad on the map of world, I think it is time for, let's say, Pune, Kochi and a couple of other cities to really be on the same map. And government is thinking really in the right direction to really see as to how long do we need to really keep providing these incentives and what kind of new vehicles that are required. So as of now, both the instruments like SCPI and SCG are very relevant from our perspective. And I'm hopeful to hear, though I haven't heard anything so far. Let's take a stock after,
What do you think would be the most important thing?
If I go back to some of the points the youngsters have made here, I think in our businesses, in our companies, we all have 3-year plans, 5-year plans. We also have a yearly plan. And I think we focus quite a bit on not only our yearly plan, we also have a quarterly review. Similarly, the government has a 5-year plan. They also have an annual plan. This budget is about an annual plan. So there is a long-term plan and there is a short-term plan. But obviously, like in a business, that we can't always execute all plans. Sometimes we achieve them successfully and sometimes not so successfully. And this is exactly a similar exercise. It does impact all of us, and there is a mechanism to how they arrive at the budget. There are industrial bodies like CII, FICCI, whatever. They go and lobby with the finance minister of what they want. There are farmer bodies, they go and lobby. There is a finance commission, there is a planning commission, they all have inputs into a budget. And obviously we have parliament, which is people's voice. They are supposed to go and tell the finance minister what people really want. But like you said, in this country or in any country, you can't satisfy everybody. Whichever lobby is very strong, they may get what they want. For example, if IT industry gets another tax holiday, you may not have gone and lobbied there, but your profits are going to be impacted by 30%. And I think that really impacts you for an IT industry, even if you didn't go to the parliament or didn't go and meet any people's representative. So in that sense, it definitely impacts all of us. If you're in the export business, government business, if you're getting subsidies this year, it will impact your business. It will impact your profitability straight away. So it affects us. but I think we tend to remain little distant from it because 80% of this country lives on subsidies.